Welcome back, people. Um, if you're watching number 2, it means that you've most likely watched number 1. You probably thought to yourself, alright, what is this addiction thing? I do have an addiction, where are we going with this? But okay, let's give it a try. Let's assuming that you can help me. Okay, now the first thing I want to say to people is that I believe that there's kind of basic addictions, and then there's kind of like more aggressive, severe addictions. Okay, the few things I want to get right about the last video. The first thing is I was talking about binge drinking, so I said binge eating. That would be comfort eating. And towards the end of the video, I said it's better to use the broadband in the company of your own home, in the comfort of your own home. Use your own broadband by your broadband provider, which will most likely be unlimited, so there isn't a cap on it like if you're using your mobile phone. So let's just clarify those things. Right, so basic addiction would be like say I was watching pornography and I was watching it say 2 to 3 times a week, which I was still addicted to it, but it wasn't like a severe addiction. I wasn't like it wasn't every day, I wasn't doing it every single day, and and multiple times a day. That's a severe addiction as far as I'm concerned. And many other things. I wasn't drinking alcohol every day. I could go through 1 week where I was drinking it and another week where I wasn't, kind of thing. But I still felt I was addicted. So there's like your basic addictions, and then there's more like your addiction is more severe. That's the best words I use it. People have to understand that when I do these videos, I'm not really editing them, so I'm just trying to roll with it. But I'm glad you're here. Let's get into number 2. Right, so there's one other thing I want to say actually, is I was going quite extreme on the first video. I was saying like 7 days, if you get past 4 days, if you get past 5 days, in the beginning it may even be 12 hours. You might go through half a day of no smoking. Again, you've come closer to succeeding. You normally have 20 a day, you normally have 40 a day of cigarettes or tobacco, even marijuana, right? You've managed to go 12 days. That's a major success. That's a major success as far as I'm concerned. So then you may say, right, next week I'm going to go for this again, and then next week becomes a full day. So, but what I'm saying is eventually you probably will work it up to the point where because your strength, you're willing to fight, kind of you become a lot more stronger, and and that willpower grows a lot stronger, and sooner or later 3-4 days will come quite easy. 5 days will come quite easy. It got to a point with me where, in regards to smoking, where I was kind of just strictly doing it on the weekends, but I realized that doing it on the weekends really it's not really the way to go about it. If once you do throw in that get out of jail free card, you don't really want to touch it. You don't want to say, oh, I'm only going to limit it to the weekends. You just don't want to touch it, period. Because limiting it to the weekends, for me personally, just didn't work. Because you're kind of you're teasing yourself. You're kind of just putting it back into your body again. You only are doing it on the weekends or whatever, but if you only are doing it on the weekends, it just doesn't make sense. You might as well just give the whole thing up. Right, so let's assume that, right, you're here today now, you're with me now because you've got past 5 days, 4 days, you've got past that. Right, now we want to talk about greater evils, lesser evils. Okay, now we want to talk about what is a greater evil. Right, so I've given up smoking tobacco. I'm going to use the tobacco as an example. I've gone past the 5 days of not smoking tobacco. I'm not suddenly going to say to myself, right, what I do is, instead of me smoking tobacco, I'm just going to smoke marijuana on the weekends, because that's a greater evil. Okay. What is another one? Instead of smoking, instead of maybe drinking vodka each day, I'm now going to take up marijuana. So now you stopped drinking vodka, now you're smoking weed instead. So you're kind of understanding where I'm going with it, okay? In the example of smoking, when I got past those 5 days, I said to myself, right, there's, as you know, there's kind of nicotine replacement products, and in the beginning I started off with an electronic cigarette, and I'll be honest with you, they don't really do, according to how my experiences with it didn't really do the trick for me. Electronic cigarette, I think I didn't feel that slight burn at the back of my throat, therefore it didn't kind of simulate an actual cigarette. So a lesser evil for me, which was more successful, was for me to move from smoking tobacco to vaping. Okay, now understand one thing with vaping is that vaping is just addictive, if not more addictive than tobacco, but it's healthier. Okay, there probably people say, oh yeah, but scientists have proven that it kind of causes DNA damage, and DNA damage can lead to cancer, things like that. The reality of it is that it's better than you smoking tobacco. Okay, so after the 5 days, I've gone on to electronic cigarette. Now let's assume that I'm walking around and every 5 seconds I'm using this electronic cigarette. I literally can't go 30 seconds without using the thing, right? After about, say, I've gone past those 2 weeks of not having that tobacco, not lighting up, not physically setting on fire tobacco or whatever, and breathing it into my lungs. Now instead I've replaced it with a lesser evil, which is something like the electronic, like vaping. Okay, 2 months are into it, I'm now addicted to vaping. Okay, what I'm trying to say to you from where I'm standing, because there's some people out there where they don't need to go for all of these things, they have the willpower to stop and all of that. But if you do suffer from kind of maybe mental health, or you have this addictive personality, or you're prone to stress and all of that, it may not be as simple as oh, you just give up. You get some people say, oh, well, I just stopped. My wife told me she didn't like me smoking no more, so I just stopped. You know, if you're that strong and all of that, then that's thumbs up to you. That's brilliant. All the best for you. But it's not for you really to be forcing out onto other people, because they may not be in the same situation that you're in. Okay, so where are we going with this? Right, so I've now become addicted to the electronic cigarette. Now or shall I say, sorry, the vaping, right? I've now become addicted to vaping. I've gone from me stopping tobacco for 5 days, I've then picked up the vaping. I've been vaping for 2 months. Now all of a sudden, what you want to do with the vaping is you want to get to about 3 or 4 months where you've clearly given up tobacco. You're addicted now to vaping. Okay, you want to tell your mind you never smoked, you've never touched a cigarette in your life, you don't even know what cigarettes are. Your addiction now really is vaping. Okay, again, it's kind of with vaping, you want to get to a certain stage of vaping. Most people it's about 5 or 6 months. For me it was roughly about that time, maybe 3-4 months. And then what will then happen is you'll want to go for a nicotine replacement product, another one. Okay. What I tended to use was Nicotine Quick Mist. That was my choice. So after about 3-4 months, I made the decision that when my last bottle of vape juice, I then made sure that I had quite a few. It's not just, sorry, gone out of focus here. Come on, focus back in. This damn camera. Right, 1 minute, bear with me guys. Right, so I didn't just have one, I had multiple packets. And what you really want to do is you want to kind of buy yourself about maybe 6 of those packets, and then you stop the vaping, and then you start using the Quick Mist. After about the 6th one, once you get through, now normally it's around about 1 Quick Mist per week. So once you get to about your 5th or 6th week on the Quick Mist, you will find, remember, because you've gone through roughly about 4 months of vaping now, 3 to 4 months. As far as your brain knows, it's never touched a cigarette. Your problem is vaping. Once you then start moving on to the Quick Mist, and you get to say the last one, so you bought maybe 6 of them. If you're in the UK, you can actually get these free. I at one stage was getting them for free, but I kind of abused it, and I got to a stage where I said to myself, listen, look, you're going to start paying out of your own money now, and we'll see if you're abusing it when you're actually paying out of your own pocket. So these that you see, all of these, as crazy as it sounds, came out of my own pocket. Once you hit week 5, once you hit the last week, you'll find that craving for nicotine is reduced significantly. So whereas, you know, like when you were first trying to stop smoking, for example, remember I said to you that the hardest craving is between like 5 days to 2 weeks, that craving which made you want to pull your hair out kind of thing, it's no longer there. Once you've got through your last Nicotine Quick Mist or patch or gum or whatever it is you've chosen, once you've got through the last one of that after finishing vaping, you'll have a certain craving, but the craving will be like that, as opposed to, let's see, can I put both my hands in these cameras? Yeah, as opposed to like that. The craving will be like that. It will be copable. You'll be able to cope with it. Now, I'm saying these things in regards to smoking, but to be honest with you, it works all around the board. So if it was eating, if it was comfort eating, if I was eating something like KFC, a lesser evil for something like junk food would be, you can find some healthy foods that taste nice, but it's just a little bit more energy. It just takes a little bit more energy to run out there and spend a little bit more time. But again, you have to really want to do it. So with comfort food, things like junk food, it is possible to find something that's less than that. And you want to go through the same kind of process as well. So how would it be in regards to junk food? It would be, again, I've gone through, starting from the beginning, I've gone through 5 days of me not eating junk food. On the 6th or 7th day, I go for a lesser evil. That lesser evil could be a lesser evil in junk food. What would be a lesser evil in junk food? What would be a lesser evil? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. A lesser evil could be a beer. A lesser evil could be ice cream. So a healthy meal with ice cream. Alright, so I'm running out of time on this video, so I will do a part 3, and I'll go into more examples of each kind of addiction. I've kind of covered smoking. We're gonna go a little bit more into if I was comfort eating and if I was binge eating, binge drinking and things like that. So I'll see you in the next video.